It is 5:30. I call this public hearing and input meeting for the alley vacation to order. Our first item on our agenda is to give the pledge to allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for attending this evening. One of the things that needs to happen is anybody that's giving any information to the council and along with the council, make sure you're speaking into the microphone, or else those that are listening online will not be able to hear. So that microphone there does work. Make sure that it's on, and that's how we will move forward with input. First, I just want to say thank you for everybody coming. This is a hearing for a proposed alley vacation on what's more commonly known as the old teepee motel property. We received the petition from Northern Border Investment LLC on the 18th of June. On the 22nd of June, the City Council did adopt Resolution 5520, which started the process to get us here today for the public input. So that we have published 4 times in our local newspaper, once a week for the last 4 weeks, which brings us here tonight for our opening input from the public. City Administrator, do you have anything else to add before we hand over to the applicants?
Thank you, Mayor. I do just want to make an introductory comment, and as you pointed out, the purpose of the meeting is to take public comments on a vacation request. And the vacation request is for the alley in the block where the teepee was formerly located. That alley runs from 15th Street to 16th Street, north-south. And I just want to make the point that the City Council is here to take public input, and then ultimately you need to make a decision, which essentially is a legislative act that the City Council will be making, whether or not you want to give up the public's rights to that right-of-way that was a platted alley as part of the Franson's addition a number of years ago. So the City Council needs to make a legislative decision about whether or not giving up that alley makes sense and whether or not it's in the public interest to do so, essentially. And there's going to be arguments, I'm sure, on both sides of that particular issue, and so I just want to make it clear that the council understands that you need to take public input, public comment today, and then consider whether or not you want to move forward with the vacation process, and then that's laid out in that timetable that we've provided in your packet.
Okay. Well, thank you. So representing this evening, Northern Border Investment LLC, if you would like to come forward and address the council on your petition to vacate the alley. You can take it off. Yep.
My name is Chase Baldwin with Northern Border Investments. I'm here today as I submitted a petition for the vacation of the alleyway, formerly known as the teepee motel. I'm asking the council to approve this vacation in order for new development to be constructed on the site. Without the vacation, the property is not currently suited for development of this site. I know redevelopment has been a focal point within the city over the years, and not only will this project add new development to the community, but it will also add to the tax base of International Falls. I've been working together with Dave Edquist from Holiday Station Service on this project, as well as Kelly Myers to redevelop this property. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Appreciate your time tonight during this. name's Dave Edquist. I'm the development manager for Holiday Circle K. I put Holiday first because I'm a Holiday Legacy employee. And just a little history, Holiday has had a presence in International Falls since 1952. We opened our first store at 301 8th Street, which is now Rainy Lake Auto Service, that small little building there. If you don't know what that was, it originally was a Erickson Oil Company, or not oil, excuse me, Erickson Brothers Oil Company station right at Erickson, but that subsequently was changed to Holiday. In 1968, we built a new store, a larger facility, one block north, and I'm sure you still see the vacant building, not vacant because it's being used, but the facility is still standing, the structure is still standing. At the southeast corner of Highway 53 and 7, and we operated there until 2006, when we moved to the property that we now occupy, which is Lyons property. Could I ask for Mr. Lyons property to put up the first picture of the new thing? This is an aerial view of the Lyon property. As you can see, I'm sure all of you know Holiday sits on the north end of the property. It's a 1.4 acre property, and it's home to three very vibrant businesses: Holiday, the Outdoorsman, and the liquor store. Each of us are challenged by parking, circulation, traffic. It's a very congested site, 1.4 acres. This especially is true in the summertime when we see such an influx of fishermen, people with boats, trailers, motorhomes, campers. It's extremely difficult to be able to service the property. You'll notice that Holiday has a total of 6 parking spots. The Outdoorsman has 7, and the liquor store also has 6. So very tight parking in this configuration here. So, we have grown with the city over the past 68 years, and our new parent company, Circle K, see great value in having the stability of a permanent location versus paying rent. They would like to make an investment in the city. We go into the site plan. This is a proposed site plan. Our site plan features a 5,200 square foot convenience store, rectangular piece surrounded by all those parking spots. We will have a 10 dispenser fueling platform, 5 by 2 we call it, 5 across, double deep, and we will continue to provide the same fuels and propane that we do now. I think what's interesting to point out here is if you compare the two properties, our existing property and this property, the building we currently occupy is 6,065 square feet. The new building you see here is 5,200 square feet. That's a reduction of 865 square feet worth of space. We currently have 8 dispensaries, not well configured, but we have 8 dispensers. And here we're going, adding 2 dispensaries, an additional 2 dispensers. And the biggest change is that we're going from 3/4 of an acre to 2 acres, an increase of 1.25 acres of taxable land. So we think that we've designed a very nice and attractive project here, a building, a business. We are growing with the city, and move to the next picture. We have some renderings of what the building will look like. This is our typical 5,200 square foot building. You see the Circle K. I do not know at this point in time whether we will own it as a Holiday or Circle K. And Circle K acquired Holiday 2 years ago. There was a stipulation that all of our stores would remain at Holiday for 3 years. Depends on when this construction happens, if it happens, as to whether it would actually be branded Holiday or Circle K. But this is the aesthetics of the 5,200 going to the think there's been some question as to whether we would be proposing a car wash here, and while I did strongly push for it, our folks denied adding a car wash due to the weather. As you may or may not know, we had many stores in the last rain, especially where it just is too cold for too long, we cannot operate our car washes when it's below zero for an extended period of time. And winter and spring are the biggest times for car washes. So our folks denied adding a car wash here. So this gives you an idea of what the end product will look like. It's basically the same, slightly smaller, basically the same we have now. So, as far as a job opportunity standpoint, we expect to maintain our current employees and the staffing needs that we have now. If we were growing, we would have more staff than at this point in time. We see our staff coming with us and no change in that area. We see that as this is being, what we're doing, we see it as right sizing. We're shrinking the store. We are adding 2 pumps, and we're adding proper amount of parking and circulation to make the site work far better than it does in the congested site that we are located. That is my presentation at this point. I'm certainly going to have any questions should you have them.
Mayor,
Please.
what is the long-term for the present Holiday gas station building? Is that going back to Lenham's? Are you going to maintain it? Is it going to stay a Holiday?
No, it will not stay a holiday. It will be, our lease is up the 21st of August of 2021, and we'll go back to July.
Thank you.
Does anybody else on the council or city staff have any questions at this time?
I have one question.
Please.
The first slide that you put up where there's this building, it looks like it's over someone's house. Have you looked at acquiring that property, or is it already acquired, or
It is acquired.
with the TP Motel property?
We own that.
Okay.
Anybody else have questions? All right. Well, thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Public input. If you do come up and you want to present something to the council, please speak into the mic and outline with your name and your address so that we can have it for the record for the public hearing. At this time, I would open it up to public input. If anyone would like to come forward. Address? Address? Okay.
First question I had for the council, I heard what in the paper says basically already done it.
We have no control of what gets written in the newspaper. You would have to look at the council meeting of the 22nd. We did pass a resolution to start the process for vacating the alley. We did not vacate the alley. This is just a piece of the project or process that moves forward.
The second question, I guess the biggest question for the public is, why are we discussing this now?
I think that's a very good question. They do have a vested interest in that. And Ken, could you give a little background on that, on how that would work and why this is properly before us?
Certainly, thank you, Mayor. Again, the applicants are the current property owners, and it's my understanding that the current property owners have a purchase agreement and have had for quite some time with Circle K Holiday. And by virtue of the purchase agreement, they both have a property interest in the site. And it's my understanding that the necessary local government approvals have to be made as a condition or contingency in the purchase agreement in order for the project to actually go forward. So if for some reason the vacation of the alley isn't approved, and that's a deal breaker, which it sounds like it is to them because they need the additional real estate in order to have the canopy, the additional fuel pumps, and the location of the convenience store where they've got it proposed, it needs to split and be developed on both sides of the current alley. So that's why they're proposing the alley vacation. But the short answer to your question is they both have a property interest in it, and the people that actually signed the petition was the current owners, which is all the ordinance requires, is to...
Absolutely, you can ask Dave a question.
Because if we bought the property and the vacation was denied, then that property
If it wasn't what? Sorry, I can't hear. Oh, okay.
flat level, if we building, we're still there. No, because we have basically the same size unit as we do right now, with the exception of the larger property. We have a larger store, if we had additional tenants, and additional uses on the property, then probably would be like a car wash. We're moving, simply moving an existing business, moving from one parcel to another. We'll return it to the line.
Okay, thank you. Any other public input? All right, I guess I have one question that has came up, and this is and I'll still open it up to public comment if anyone else has comments to bring forward. We have, as a city, vacated properties in the past that have not come to fruition. So I'm kind of questioning, if we do vacate the alley, I would hope that we could come up with a contingency even for the city that the alley does not get vacated unless you guys have something moving forward in that direction, like just a purchase agreement or something. Please. Can you please?
Yeah, I believe what you're saying, excuse me, if things did not materialize with this project, we would not expect the city to vacate this alley.
Okay. That's essentially what it is, yes. And just signing something to put that, acknowledge that. Okay, thank you. And the last question, and this has came up with a couple of phone calls that I have received, Dave, and would Holiday be looking at any tax abatement moving forward, or is this a project that you guys are looking at handling on your own?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We do not do tax abatement. We do not request tax abatement from the city. We will not request tax abatement. We will be paying taxes from day one.
Okay, all right, appreciate that. Any other public comment from anybody moving forward? Ken?
Mayor, a couple things for the record. I just want the council, and again, you're very familiar with it, but we do have a petition that was submitted by several persons in opposition to the alley vacation, so I just want to make that mentioned as part of the record. And then today, we distributed a letter that was prepared by an attorney representing some of the people signing the petition opposed to the project, and that letter was from Steve Nelson, and he had recited some case law and had made the comment in reference to the fact that as part of the council's deliberation, you need to make a determination that it's in the public interest to vacate the alley, and I believe his terminology that he uses, that it's useless for which it was originally created. So I just want to make that fact known. And then secondly, one of the concerns that I have is that, and it's not really a concern, it's just if the alley vacation would move forward, right now, as I understand it, there's a sanitary sewer line that runs north and south in the existing alley. Some of that will be abandoned or just removed, and actually it'll be abandoned and cut off, but the south half of the alley, sanitary sewer will stay in place, and so staff would like to see an easement retained with the city, the interested party, holding the easement so that we can maintain that sanitary sewer line. And as a condition of that is that a manhole would be put in where the line it actually starts in this block and then travels or heads south. So a new manhole would be constructed by the property owners so that that sanitary sewer system can be maintained. So in essence, the real estate, or the alley rather, right away would be vacated, but we would like to retain an easement for access to that manhole and maintenance to the sanitary sewer line that exists underneath the ground.
Yes, please.
Is that the only utility there? Is that the only utility in that part?
No, there's underground, there's natural gas and dead end line. It goes to the current house that we own, but it doesn't continue through the alley. There's Minnesota Power, Frontier Communication, dead end line there, and Charter Mid-Continent Communication. And we're in the process with Holiday of relocating those, putting a plan together to relocate those utilities that are.
Thank you.
And what is the time? Obviously, you said that wow, I'm hearing an echo of myself. A lease agreement you have ends in August of 2021. So what would be the time frame that you would be looking at starting this project?
Hopefully the weather doesn't create havoc on this, but we are working very hard to have the deal closed so that we can get some preliminary grading and groundwork and utility work as much as we can this fall. And then we would break ground for the foundations and everything as early as we can in the spring. We will have high time.
Okay. Thank you. Any other public comment? All right, I will give one more opportunity for any public input and public comment, and then I will close the public hearing. Is there any other public comment? Please step up and
Jared Baldwin,
address.
3341 County Road 20, International Falls. I just want the public to know that we're willing to purchase this property. We're not asking the city to give it to us. That's a question that's came to me a lot. We're not asking to be given it. We're willing to buy it. So just know that the record is clear. Move closer to that. Okay. So I just want to let you guys know that, we're not expecting that. We're willing to buy it. So that's been a lot of questions that I've been asked. You expect the city to give you this property? No, that's not the case. We're willing to buy that property.
All right, any other public input? All right, hearing none, I will close this public hearing, and I'm going to give about 10 minutes for the city council to just collect their thoughts on how to move forward with this, and we will have our regular city council meeting at I have no clue what time it is. Our clocks are all messed up. 5 after.